King, chair of Neumont University's Bachelor in Software and Game Development degree, sitting with David Erickson, who just finished the C++ course, in which we build a game engine and then build a game on top of it. The minimal requirement for the game is Geometry Wars, but David took his just a little bit further. So why don't you show us some of the unique things you did in your game here, David?
All right, just from the start, you see that you got a health bar and a fuel bar. The fuel will go down. If I press I, then the game will actually start. The instructions automatically pop up. I put this in the top corner, press I to open close instructions, but I felt like after some play testing that people wouldn't read that in time and they'd just die without knowing the instructions. So we'll start. And you got to go over the fuel station to gain fuel, which automatically goes down over time. As you kill enemies, it'll tell you you'll gain cash, and you can use these cash on upgrades, which was probably what took the most time.
I didn't even know that was in there. Okay, so tell us about the upgrades.
All right, so this one gives you armor. You can only have as much armor as health you have. So like if you're at like 50% health, your armor will only regen up to 50%. And you only regen armor when you're out of combat. So that means you haven't taken damage in 5 seconds.
Cool.
The fuel upgrade, these are probably the best upgrades. The fuel upgrade makes it so that your fuel just goes down slower. The bullet upgrade increases the damage your bullets do. And enemies gain 1 hit point every 15 seconds to make the game more difficult. And then the health spawns health at these increments. I'd mouse over them, but it disappears.
How good are you at your own game?
Not very.
Let's play it. Let's see it play.
So, let's see. I've only lived like a maximum of like 230 seconds, which there's a timer in the top left.
How about your playtesters? They last longer?
Coulter tried not shooting enemies to see how long he'd live, and he lived like 90 seconds, so that was pretty good. Because there used to be there's like a little bit of a glitch where you can just like spin around in circles and they won't catch you. But when the new enemy comes, then it moves slower, so you can't do that anymore. And he got really angry.
So you added a whole ton of game mechanics on top of the bare minimum requirements for the class. Why did you get so passionate about this project?
Well, I knew that I probably wasn't going to make anything like other than Geometry Wars, but I was like, I want to make it like way more extreme. And I was like, it'd be really cool if there's like fuel that you had to keep track of. Because I remember when I was a kid, I played this Flash game called Motherload, and there wasn't health. Your health was fuel. And when your fuel ran out, then you died. And I was like, that's a really awesome game mechanic that you have to like, on that one, you just have to mine, and then you have to like make sure you don't run out of fuel otherwise you die. So I was like, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And then I was like, I saw that one of the requirements was to add a score, and I was like, I'm just going to make the score cash, and I'm going to add an upgrade, and that was almost too much for me to handle because it took me like 6 hours to get the upgrades working correctly, and even then, when I turned it in, the bullets one wasn't working because I didn't have time to scale the enemies. I was like, I just have to cut off something that I did. So
we gave you a really crummy API for drawing. The initial intent was not that these games be as epic as they are, but you've taken this really crummy API and made something that's very visually appealing, and obviously you have a lot of passion for what you're doing if you're going to go that extra mile. So not only are your game mechanics great, but visually it's also appealing too, especially for a programmer. It's nice programmer art. So you got different kind of enemies I see you have on the screen there. They're frozen up. Play a little bit longer.
I've got them on the wrong
So how many different types of enemies do you have?
Just these 2 right now. I planned on making a few more. I was going to add one that shoots at you, but the game's already pretty difficult. So I was like, I don't want to do that. That'd be bad. And initially the small enemies moved twice as fast and had twice as much health, but that was a really bad idea.
How long have you been at Neumont?
This is my 5th quarter that will be completed today.
Did you know any programming before you came to Neumont?
Not even a little bit.
Really? You just knew you wanted to make games and you learned it all here. And this was a 10-week course. It's 1 quarter at Neumont University. So you are in your which quarter?
So this is the end of my 5th quarter.
Sweet. And since you're in the game degree, you have 7 more quarters to go.
Yeah.
So looking very promising.